Hello class, I'm going to show you today how to get your scarf file ready for printing and for uploading to Google Dropbox and as well as Blackboard. The first thing we want to do is make sure your scarf is saved as a Photoshop file. So I'm going to go up here to my upper left hand corner. I'm going to make sure I don't see an asterisk sign next to the tab. I see my last name. It says scarf.psd. If you don't see that, just go to File, go to Save As. We're going to navigate to some place where we probably have a Fashion Tech folder, and we're going to write our name here. Everything before the period .psd, leave it as a Photoshop file, and then hit Save. Now we know, we'll click through this pop-up, we know our master file is saved. Next we want to make sure our dimensions are correct. I'm going to go to the image drop-down, and we'll go over here to image size. Make sure that our units are in inches and that we do indeed have a 72-inch wide, 14-inch tall scarf. Very important here, make sure you are at 200 dpi for resolution. If you have it still at 300 dpi, your file will be gigantic. We want to change this down to 200 dpi. Also, I want to make sure that I'm in the right color mode here, and I'm going to make sure that I have CMYK selected. Now, if you have worked through your scarf and you do see it saying RGB, that means you need to change it to CMYK. Before you do that, I would resave your file as last name RGB version or last name CMYK version, because once you click over to CMYK from RGB, you will lose all of your layers and you will not be able to edit your scarf any farther. If you are happy with the way your scarf looks, then I wouldn't worry about it. Go ahead and change it to CMYK. Now that we have our dimensions set, we have our DPI is set, we are on CMYK, we are ready to save our Photoshop file as a Tiff file. Here's how we do that. We go to the File drop-down, click on Save As. We're going to save as our file type. Instead of Photoshop, we're going to go all the way down to the bottom here where it says TIFF. And how do we change the name? There is a Excel sheet that I emailed to you in the future, and you will see all of our text sections here, and you will find your corresponding section number. If you don't know what your section number is, figure out what it is, and then find your name here. And this little naming nomenclature, this is how we're going to name our files because they're being sent out for printing, and this will help facilitate the you getting your scarf back. So right here, I'm going to pick on Aaron here, and I'm going to click on the cell. I'm going to say right click and just say copy. Now I have this information, or if you don't want to do that, you can just copy this down. 144 underscore FT underscore 007 underscore Mitchell. Now I'm going to go back over to my Photoshop file where I was saving as a TIFF file. I'm going to delete everything in front of the period here, and whoops. I'm going to delete everything in front of the period, and we will paste in that information here. So here's that 144.ft as a TIFF file. Now I'm going to uncheck this little box here that says layers. This will significantly reduce our file size, and we don't have to worry about editing it because we do have our master file saved, right? Right, okay, so here we're going to uncheck layers, hit the save button. Right here where it says TIFF options, we have something called image compression. This is very important. We are going to select LZW for our compression. Go ahead and find that, click that. We're not going to touch anything else. We're just going to click OK and click through this pop-up. And we have saved our TIFF file someplace into our Fashion Tech folder, right? I'm going to have faith that it went there. Let's take a look here. We'll go to our Fashion Tech folder, and there is my TIFF file. Here is my Photoshop file. Now I need to make sure that I save this for Blackboard Upload. So I'm going to go to File. We'll go to Save As. We'll choose Photoshop PDF right here. And just like we normally do, I'm going to make sure I'm in my Fashion Tech folder when I save this. We'll hit Save. We'll click OK through this next pop-up. And we'll do this just like we did every other PDF all semester. We go to our preset, we select smallest file size, and we are going to uncheck preserve editing capabilities. If you leave this checked, again, our file will be way too large, and over 20 megs, your file will not be graded, so make sure that is unchecked. Under here, under compression, we're going to look for this option that says image quality. Leave this image quality on high, and then we'll go to output and say color conversion, no conversion. Everything looks good. So now I have in my fashion tech folder, I now have my scarf PDF for upload to Blackboard. I have my Tiff file for the Google Dropbox, and I have my master file. So everything looks good here. Again, I cannot stress this enough. Our Tiff file must have this nomenclature that was given to us on the Excel sheet. Now, when you have this and we are ready for upload, we are going to go to the Dropbox link that I've also sent you, and you're going to look for your section number, and then we're going to drop our Tiff file into that section number. So here, I open my folder here. I'm going to move this over to the side here, and I will take my Tiff file and I will just drop it right into the corresponding section. And it's saying, oh, I don't have permission. You should have permission to do this. I'm going to check this out. By the time you see this video, everything should be worked out. Once you have that scarf dropped in there, it says empty here. Let's try this one more time. You do not have permission to upload to this folder. All right, that's a little snafu, but I'm sure we'll get that all straightened out, but that's how you do it. This is how you upload your Tiff to the Dropbox, and the PDF goes into Blackboard, and keep your master file. All right, that's it. Over and out. Keep your distance from everybody. Stay safe. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.